Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton weighing in on anti-Semitism in America and an apparent rise in pro-Palestinian views from younger generations.
Smart, well-educated young people from our own country, from around the world, where were they getting their information? They were getting their information from social media, particularly TikTok. That's a serious problem. It's a serious problem for democracy, whether it's Israel or the United States, and it's a serious problem for our young people. What they were being told on social media was not just one-sided, it was pure propaganda.
Okay, so let's bring in Tomi Lahren, host of the Tomi Lahren is Fearless on Outkick, co-host of the Big Weekend Show, and Fox News contributor Patrick Murphy, former Democratic congressman of Pennsylvania. Welcome to you both. Tomi, to you first, your reaction to what you just heard from Hillary Clinton.
Well, Sandra, I'm shocked myself, but I have to agree with Hillary Clinton for maybe the first time ever here, because what she said is exactly right. It's spot on. A lot of young people, Gen Z, they get their information about everything from social media, and particularly TikTok. And we know the vulnerabilities of TikTok. I hope it eventually gets sold and we don't have to worry so much about that algorithm being monkeyed with by the Chinese Communist Party. But for now, it certainly is. And so I think that that is a big problem. But I would also have to say this. The fringe of the left and the fringe of the right, they are both to blame for the rise of anti-Semitism in a lot of different ways. I wish I could say the right didn't take any blame in this, but they certainly do. There are certain influencers who are on social media that have very large platforms that put out a lot of conspiracy theories about Israel, and I think those are damaging. I think they're reckless. I think they're dangerous, and I think they go well beyond criticizing Israel or Israel's government. And so that's something that needs to be monitored on both the fringe of the left and the fringe of the right.
And Patrick, I mean, the polling does show that a majority of Americans say that American adults, I should say, do say that they're getting their news from social media. Those that say sometimes or often 53%, more than half. So obviously something we have to pay attention to. I guess too, Patrick, you have to assume that those are the ones acknowledging that know they're getting their news from social media. In some ways, you have to realize that some people don't even know they're being affected by what they're seeing and reading as they scroll.
No doubt, Sandra. And so I talked to my daughter who's a freshman at Clemson, and my son Jack, who's in high school. And I talked to them about these type of things. And there's no doubt, I agree with Tomi when she says it's the far left and far right, that there's a lot of anti-Semitism out there, and they're going and using social media. So that's why people have to be on it. But I will say, when Secretary Clinton is saying this, it really reminds me of, like, get off my lawn vibes. I mean, come on. Social media is part of American fabric for young Americans. We have to be on it, and it has to be sharing ideas and the truth and acting like we should be on it, and it's like this crazy threat to democracy. Little too much for my taste.
Yeah, I mean, and also in a poll asking where Jews commonly experience anti-Semitism, guess what? It's online. 41% say they experience anti-Semitism online, and 21%, far too many in either case, experience anti-Semitism in a public setting. Finally, I want to ask you about the future of Gavin Newsom, Tomi. It appears Hollywood donors are lining up behind him for 2028. He's a fighter. That's what they need, says a top-tier producer and a reliable Dem ATM. I just wish more Democrats like Schumer and the leadership in Congress would emulate him, not take any bleep from Trump. Is this what's coming, Tomi?
Well, we know that Gavin Newsom is going to run for president. He's been running for at least the last 5 years. I think he wanted the nod from Joe Biden when he dropped out and he didn't get it. But he's certainly preparing to run. I would just say this, though. Hollywood donors lining up for a California Democrat, that's nothing new. They also lined up for Kamala Harris. They wasted over $1 billion, and it ended with her not being elected, as we all well know. So he can have the backing. He can have the donors. He can have the California money. That's not going to propel him into the presidency, especially when you look at the state of California, a beautiful state in so many regards, a state that he has completely destroyed on his watch. That's going to be something very difficult for him to overcome. I know he's a slick talker. I know he has the look, but the state, unfortunately, is not as nice as his hair. I'll put it that way.
I appreciate you both joining us today. Patrick, Tomi, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.